Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world, and today we're adding and subtracting directed numbers. Yes, that symbol at the end means numbers, not hashtag. So to do this, I'm going to use a number line, which you saw last lesson. Okay, I hope you're ready for your mind to be blown, because it's about to be blown. We're going to do 4 minus 2. How do we do that on the number line? Well, we start at 4. Now, subtract means we're taking something away, so we're actually going to go to the left. Now, because we're subtracting 2, we go 2 spots to the left. So we go 1, 2. 4 minus 2 equals 2. Okay, mind blown, right? What if we wanted to do 4 plus 2? Same thing, we'd start at 4. Because we're adding something, we're getting bigger, we go to the right. 1, 2 steps, because we're adding 2. So 4 plus 2, we ended up at 6. How awesome is that? So, we've just discovered a really interesting rule. So, when we subtract something, we're actually going to the left of the number line. When we add something, we're going right. Now, I'm sure you've learned so much already, but we're going to learn even more. Let's say, guys, that we wanted to do not 4 plus 2, but how about if we do minus 4 plus 2? Well, it's the same thing. That's what you guys love about maths, I know, because one rule works all the time. So just because this 4 happens to be negative, doesn't mean we do it any differently. So minus 4 plus 2, we start at negative 4. Adding, we go to the right. 1, 2 spots. So negative 4 plus 2 is actually negative 2, because that's where we've ended up. But here's the thing, guys. I told you at the start of the year, it doesn't matter the order in which we add something, and that's true, you know that. 7 plus 5 is the same as 5 plus 7, right? So, if negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2, then 2 plus, I'll put in brackets, negative 4, must also be negative 2. But how does that make any sense? Because if we start at 2 here, and we add something, aren't we going to the right? So when we're doing 2 plus negative 4, we actually need to go to get our answer 1, 2, 3, and hold for it, 4 spots to the left. So we've actually gone left, even though we have an add here. Okay? Now, this is because what we learned last lesson about opposites. So, as we learned last lesson, the opposite of negative 4 is 4, right? What we've actually done, so to get our answer, is we've started at 2, so 2 plus negative 4. We started at 2 but gone to the left. That's exactly the same answer we would have got as if we had 2 minus 4. So, that means that 2 plus negative 4 is the same as 2 minus 4. So, a plus and a minus together make a minus. For example, 5 plus, let's say, negative 3 is going to be the same as 5 minus 3. Another example, minus 6 plus negative 4 is going to be exactly the same as minus 6 minus 4. And we can show all of these on the number line as well. So if we were going to do minus 6 minus 4, we'd do it the same way. We'd start here at minus 6. And then we would go 4 to the left, because as I said, subtract means go to the left. So we'd go 1, and we're running out of spots. We'd go 2 to negative 8. 3 spots gives you negative 9. And 4 gives you negative 10. But hopefully, you're getting to a point where you don't need the number line for every calculation. So let's see what happens when we subtract a negative number. And I suggest now you copy all this stuff down because I am about to erase it all. Okay, so let's say we had something like negative 3, subtract negative 3. So it might be a bit hard to conceptualize, but we can use the rules that we use for ordinary numbers, because that's the good thing about maths. Same rule applies all the time. So, for negative 3, subtract negative 3, what we're doing is we're just taking a normal number and we're subtracting it. Now what we know is that whenever we subtract a number from itself, 4 minus 4, 130 minus 130, we should end up with 0. So this answer should be 0. So let's look on the number line what we've actually done. We started at number 3, negative 3, right here. So how have we got to 0? We've gone 1, 2, 3 to the right. But that doesn't make any sense, does it? I mean, we are subtracting. Here's a subtraction, yet we've gone to the right. What we know is that we should only do that when we're adding. And that's precisely why negative 3 subtract negative 3 is actually negative 3 plus 3. In other words, two negatives next to each other like this end up making a positive. So let's write down that rule. So that's the rule there. When subtracting a negative number, add its opposite. So when we're subtracting negative 3, we add its opposite 3, because 3 and negative 3 are opposites. So what are some other examples that we could use? Okay, so let's say we had negative 4 minus negative 2. So the two negatives together become a plus. And negative 4 subtract negative 2 is negative 4 plus 2. So we start negative 4. And we can go 2 to the right. We get minus 2. 8, subtract negative 3. Again, the two negatives together make a positive. And that gives us 11. Okay? But what about when you're doing bigger sums? Well, I'm going to show you a few bigger sums and subtractions. So please copy this down if you need it. So let's say we were doing something like minus 50, sorry about my writing, minus 50 minus 25, okay? Now for the start, just while we're getting used to it, we can still use a number line. But do I expect you to mark out a number line all the way to 50 and then mark 25 spots? Of course not. You can just skip count. So for negative 50 minus 25, we know we start at negative 50 and go 25 to the left. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark negative 50 here. Now 25 to the left, you don't have to go negative 51, negative 52. That's just a waste of time. So what we can do is we go negative 50, okay? Then I can subtract 20, so I go 20 to the left. Now remember, going this way to the right, the numbers get closer to 0. So the next one here, so 10 more would be negative 40. So 10 the other way, so just make sure you get the number line correct, would be negative 60. So then 20 would be negative 70. So I've subtracted 20 to go from here to here. So negative 50 minus 20 is minus 70. And then I need another 5 to go over here, minus 75. Let's say we were doing minus 60 minus 30. So as you all know, two minuses make a plus. Instead of subtracting negative 30, we add its opposite. We go minus 60 plus 30. So we go minus 60, mark that. Now, I hope you all know you need to go to the right 30 spots. So if I go the right 10 spots, I'm at negative 50, minus 40, and then finally at minus 30. So I've gone from minus 60, 10, 20, 30 spots to the right. Minus 60, subtract negative 30 is in fact negative 30. Okay, so you will get to the point where you're able to do these without number lines, but the number lines are just a tool when you begin. So please ask if you have any questions. Other than that, this has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. I hope you have a wonderful day.